Watch 10 from WDNN in Calhoun is seen on Comcast Cable Channel 7.
Welcome back to Newswatch 10. I'm Jeremy Babin and we're talking sports. History was bound to be made this past Saturday night in Maury County. The Indians hadn't won a game since November of 2005, but this is the first year the team's playing in 7A, 4A. So what better way to break a losing streak, while at the same time give head coach Josh Lowe his first win and a first Saturday season home opener. And could this be the night that all the seniors end 2.5 years of frustration? First quarter opening drive, it's East Hall. Xavier Robinson takes the handoff and then takes out the referee. Goes about 25 yards until he's dragged down by a fury of Indians. First down Vikings. But this is certainly a defensive game, and the Vikings look defensive early as Austin Williams gets clocked, and on the handoff, Keontae Young takes it the length of the football field, puts the first score on the game, 7-0 East Hall. Maury County's defense was pretty stingy too, as Harrison Dale goes back to pass, and they gets eaten up by a flurry of Indians. More defense from the Indians this early in the second quarter. Zach Dill's going to intercept a Harrison Dale pass and bring it up to midfield for a Maury County first down. Nothing to show for it, however, on that drive, but no problem because on the next Viking possession, the exact same thing happens. Only this time, it's James Hefner who gobbles up the INT, taking it up to the Vikings' 20-yard line, and that would set up this. Seconds ticking down the first half. Austin Williams hits Luke Mueller in the end zone, and we have a tie ball game. East Hall would answer right back on the reverse. Andrew Evester going tiptoeing down the sidelines, and he's going to go all the way in for a score. That would make it a 13-7 East Hall lead. They would miss the extra point over 4 minutes to go in the third. Next Indian possession, though, they'd settle for a Michael Lopez field goal, 34 yards, and that would cut the East Hall lead to 3. And then with 40 seconds to go in the game, it's Austin Williams who takes the quarterback sneak up the gut, 17-13. One last chance for the Vikings. The Hail Mary goes right into the hands of Josh Ziegler, and 2.5 years of frustration are over.
It's a great night for Maury County. I'm so proud of these kids. This isn't about coaches. This isn't about anything besides these boys busting their tail for the last 3 years. They played their hearts out. This is for this year's team and the ones that came before. I'm so proud of them. This won't be the last win this year. There may be bumps in the road, but the Indians are back.
The coaches, they coach us real well. They said, to fight tooth and nail. I mean, the time's now. I mean, we just had to make it happen. So we just went out there and made it happen.
It's remarkable. I mean, it's undescribable how good it feels. And everybody on this team, we deserve it. We have worked day after day. We've had 2-a-days to 3-a-days at camp. We went to 7 different camps during the summer. We've just worked out so much, and we deserve this so much.
Congratulations to them. Also over the weekend, many local softball teams headed up to Catoosa County for the Jack Maddox tournament hosted by LFO. Most teams played a couple games Friday and at least 3 more on Saturday to gear up for the start of the season. Heritage opened up their tournament against Bremen, but we start with Northwest taking on Central. And the Lady Bruins 0-2 so far, looking to get into the win column. Lauren Shook hurling for Northwest in this one. She looked good early, getting the inning-ending strikeout on the nasty changeup right there. But Ariel Gardner, her counterpart, on the bump for Central, she was effective too in this pitcher's duel, ending the third inning. Lady Lions up 1-0 runner on third for Becca Renfo, and she bloops one over the pitcher, Casey Griffin. And Griffin races home, and we are all tied at 1 apiece. Still 1-1 in the fifth. 2 runners in scoring position. Kayla Smith chops one back to the pitcher, Shook. Her toss to first, not handled cleanly. A run scores, and Central goes up by 1. They would hang on, however, and win 2-1 over Northwest. Coach Chatton and his young Heritage team were also at the tournament, taking on Bremen. And as always, there was a big crowd on hand to watch the Lady Generals and support their players in action. Heritage ended up with the bases loaded early, up 2-1, but they could not do any more damage here as everything was exerted perfectly by the Blue Devils. Marissa Patterson pitching in this one with a runner on third, and Yates goes deep to center, but this cannot be corralled as Wright hustles home, and this game is tied at 2 apiece. Later in the inning, Jennings, she delivers with 2 on. Yates crosses home, and Bremen takes a 3-2 lead. Let's go to the 4th inning now. 2 on for Lawson, and she goes right back up the middle to Yates. Byrne tries to get home. She's out. The Lady Generals, they would rally late and win 6-4 over Bremen. The Southeastern Conference and ESPN have agreed to a deal where the cable network will carry SEC sports for the next 15 years. This agreement covers football, basketball, and the conference championship games that CBS will not air. It starts next season and runs through 2024. On to some NASCAR now. It was a Carl Edwards weekend once again as the number 99 car took the checkered flag for the 6th time this season. Edwards edged out Kyle Busch, who actually led for 415 laps at Bristol. But then with 30 laps to go, Edwards used his bumper to nudge Busch's car away. Despite another win, Kyle Busch still leads Edwards by 212 points in the standings. There are only 2 races left in the regular season as the drivers head to the Auto Club Speedway, California next week in the Pepsi 500. And here's a look at how the finishers finished off. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson trading places in 3rd and 4th. And down below that, Denny Hamlin and Clint Boyer moving up down to the bottom at 11th and 12th. And Melissa and Calvin, some other news to report locally. The Georgia High School Association approved the new proposal that schools will realign every 4 years instead of every 2 years. Of course, this changing regions and classifications. Of course, Murray County, they were affected by this. So kind of an interesting, situation
4
happening.
years instead of 2.
Yeah, well, some high schools though, right?
By the way, welcome, your first time on the desk with us.
Thank you. You guys run a pretty nice ship here.
I'm sitting here next to 2 Buckeyes. I can't
you
believe
go.
Oh
it.
yeah, that's right. We've
Of
got
course,
another Ohio fan.
I was born in Ohio, so that makes it
Yeah, the
kinda
heat wave I'm
weird.
still trying to get used to, but yeah.
All right,
Thanks, Jeremy.
rain, rain, rain. Cedric, a final look at the weather, please.